Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome along tonight. Thank you for joining us at the 2022 Queensland Australian of the Year Awards. This is my favourite night of the year. My name's Craig Zonka.
And I'm Loretta Ryan. We're from ABC Radio Brisbane. It is our great pleasure to be your hosts this evening. It is a wonderful evening. And if you haven't been before, you're in store for some wonderful stories.
Oh, you most certainly are. In the beautiful Queensland Gallery of Modern Art. We don't have masks on. We can gather in person. And that is something pretty special indeed. Before we commence our official proceedings, would you please join us in thanking the students from the Aboriginal Centre for Performing Arts who welcomed us with a cultural performance.
We would also like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which this event is taking place, and elders past, present and emerging.
We'd also like to acknowledge in the room tonight the Honourable Anastasia Palaszczuk MP, the Premier of Queensland and Minister for the Olympics, the Honourable Mark Bailey MP, Minister for Transport and Main Roads, the Honourable Scott Stewart MP, Minister for Resources, the Right Honourable Lord Mayor of Brisbane, Adrian Schrinner,
Councillor Teresa Harding, Mayor, Ipswich City Council, Councillor Jane McNamara, Mayor, Flinders Shire Council and Board Member of the National Australia Day Council, Councillor Fiona Cunningham, Councillor for the Coorparoo Ward, Directors General, Queensland Australian of the Year nominees, Queensland Australian of the Year alumni, sponsors, selection panel, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, of course, you being here is something to celebrate as well, because in this year of all years, the Australian spirit has really come to the fore. 2021 has provided an opportunity for Australians to gather and reflect on a difficult year, no denying it, to pay respect to the sacrifice of thousands of first responders and frontline workers who have put, well, really their safety and the well-being of others before their own, and to celebrate our collective effort to protect our communities and help each other during the COVID-19 pandemic.
And through natural disasters and coronavirus lockdowns, our nation's heroes have really inspired awe with their selfless acts. And it's times like these when inspiration is needed most, and you have all inspired us in different ways.
It's in our DNA as Aussies, that nature of resilience. And I tell you what, we have needed it over the past 12 to 18 months. The Australian of the Year Awards program is committed to showcasing extraordinary members of our community. The 2022 Australian of the Year nominees, they are people who inspire courage, sacrifice, kindness. They want to make each day better than the one before. They are passionate. They work tirelessly in their endeavours. And we look forward to celebrating all 16 stories tonight.
Now to those in the room tonight, welcome. We are so glad you are here with us in person to celebrate these incredible Australians, while of course staying COVID safe, complying with the requirements, of course. And to those of you watching online at home, hello from Brisbane. We hope you enjoyed the show. Yes, say hello. Hello.
Yeah, it's so good you can be with us this evening. You are welcome to join us also in recognising our heroes by posting on social media. You can show your support by using hashtag #OzOfTheYear across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whichever you might choose. That's hashtag #OzOfTheYear. We'd now like to invite you all to stand, if you are able to, as we welcome the Sunshine Coast's very own Sahara Beck to the stage to perform the National Anthem.
Australians, oh let us rejoice. 'For we are your people, and we
Thank you very much, Sahara, for that performance, and also for welcoming us in the foyer this evening as well. And Sahara has won numerous Queensland Music Awards and recently won the Carol Lloyd Award as well. So that meant she could record an album with Constantine Kirsting, which she looks forward to releasing in the not too distant future. So watch out for that.
And I reckon 2022 is going to be the year for live music as well. Hey, if you are new to the Australian of the Year Awards, tonight we are celebrating inspiring Aussies across 4 categories: Australia's Local Hero, Young Australian of the Year, Senior Australian of the Year, and the Australian of the Year. Importantly, the nominees you are about to meet inspired someone else and were nominated in the first place, sometimes anonymously, for their inspiration, contribution and excellence.
And they are people who constantly demonstrate courage, resilience, selflessness, and they roll up their sleeves, don't they, to help their community. And people's whose determination and sacrifice not only saves lives, but helps enrich them as well. And pioneers who really started a movement because they could no longer just sit by and watch, they had to do something about it. They were people who kept going against adversity to encourage and support others as well.
Yeah, and to do something. Our nominations process is open to the public 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and anyone can nominate someone who inspires them. We received thousands of nominations right through this year, reflecting the enormous challenges that we have faced together. From those nominations, our Queensland panel has selected the 17 incredible people who are being celebrated this evening.
Now, one recipient will be announced in each category. These 4 will then go on to join the other state and territory recipients at the National Awards on the eve of Australia Day, announced by the Prime Minister and broadcast live on ABC TV and iView, so be sure to tune in then.
Now, whatever the outcome this evening though, all our nominees, they richly deserve to be here. We congratulate them for reaching this important stage on the nation's most prestigious awards program. So ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together for all the nominees who are with us tonight. And we'd now like to invite the Honourable Anastasia Palaszczuk MP, the Premier of Queensland, the Minister for the Olympics, to the stage. Premier, a very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Craig and Loretta. Can I first of all acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we gather and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Can I acknowledge the ministers that are here this evening, Minister Mark Bailey and Minister Scott Stewart, all the way down from Townsville, so thank you for making the effort, Scott. Of course, the Lord Mayor and the Lady Mayoress, thank you both for joining us here at this very significant evening. To the mayors that are here with us, Teresa Harding and Jane McNamara. And can I acknowledge my Director General, Rachel Hunter, other Directors General, Queensland Australian of the Year nominees, previous recipients, sponsors, selection panel members, didn't they have a tough job? Ladies and gentlemen, well, welcome to, as Craig said, one of the best nights of the year, Queensland's 2022 Australian of the Year Awards. Such a positive event, a little bit of positivity goes a long way. Have you ever noticed that there's no shortage of critics in life? So we should be on the lookout for opportunities like this to encourage each other and to acknowledge the good in other people. As Premier, I know there are hundreds of thousands of Queenslanders who go out of their way every day to help other people. Whether it's for family members who need daily assistance or neighbours who need a hand or communities where something is lacking. I know because I see it and hear it about it. It's one of the best things about my job and it makes me so proud of all of the Queenslanders that live in our beautiful state. Tonight, of course, we honour those who have been nominated for something a little bit extra. They've gone above and beyond expectations to serve their community, including during COVID. We said that last year too. Doesn't that show what a challenge COVID has been? It's been with us for so long now. But I really feel that as more and more of us get vaccinated, so I have to say that, I hope everyone's getting vaccinated. It's my catch cry at the moment. We're coming into a new and better time where families can be reunited, not just in Australia, but also across the globe. The daily life will be so much closer to normal, and I hope that you share the optimism with me because we're all part of this journey that we're walking together. And we've all been in this together. So now to the focus on people who matter tonight, the nominees. Australian of the Year nominees. Among our Australian of the Year nominees, we have community welfare advocates who are champions for helping the homeless, for road safety, for stopping domestic violence, and for groundbreaking medical initiatives. For the Senior Australian of the Year nominees, our nominees in this category are committed to brain cancer research, or tackling corruption and discrimination, or supporting our service personnel, or improving educational opportunities. Among our Young Australian of the Year nominees, we have campaigners for mental health support, for medical research, for equal access to technology, and for youth mentoring. And our local hero nominees are advocates for several important causes like child protection, cultural diversity, and better health support for homeless and medical professionals. Each nominee deserves our applause and our gratitude, and in some cases quietly going about their work, making great strides in their sphere of influence, and all deserving recognition tonight for the amazing work they do. So let's give a big round of applause for everybody who is the finalist and to those who have been nominated. And I might just end, isn't it wonderful not having to have a mask on? I was in the car, I'm like, where's my mask? And I was like, I don't need it tonight. So keep up the great work, Queensland. And it's wonderful to be here to be able to celebrate this very special occasion together. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier. And you have the wonderful job now of presenting the awards, so if you could stay on stage for us, that would be great.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived for our first 2022 Australian of the Year award. That is Australia's local hero for Queensland. This award recognises Aussies making a significant contribution to their local community.
Yeah, those everyday people who I'm sure you know, whose selflessness is humbling, and through their local community activity, these people inspire others nationwide to do something where they live.
Okay, so let's meet them. The nominees for the 2022 Queensland Local Hero are...
Since arriving in Australia as a refugee from Eritrea, Saba Abraham has dedicated her time to supporting other refugees, uplifting her community and building multiculturalism more broadly in Australia. Saba is the founder and manager of Mauz Restaurant. Since 2003, the not-for-profit social enterprise has provided employment and training opportunities for women who've arrived as refugees. Since inception, Mauz has trained and employed more than 270 women. Saba's compassionate leadership has earned her the title Mama Saba, an honorary expression to recognise everything she does in her community. As colleagues at Queensland Health, Dr Nova Evans and Sonia Goodwin had an idea to provide primary healthcare street clinics to people experiencing vulnerability and homelessness. They launched Sunny Street in July 2018. It initially opened for a 4-hour period at the Marucci Neighbourhood Centre, caring for 48 people on that first day. Since then, Sunny Street has rolled out clinics across the Sunshine Coast, the Brisbane CBD, and on the Fraser Coast. Nova, Sonia and their growing team of volunteers are working to launch Sunny Street in Canberra soon, with other states on the cards too. Following his own experiences with mental illness, James Hill has volunteered time in the community, helping others better understand mental illness and how to access support. In 2017, he co-designed and implemented a full-time mental health advocate position at Energy Queensland, where he's worked as a tradesman since 2007. By using lived experience to develop a mental health strategy for the business, James is shifting cultural attitudes around mental illness. James shows it's possible to turn a negative experience into a life-changing journey that can give hope to many people. After witnessing the struggle of parents suffering from substance use disorder while trying to care for their children, Dr Zoe Noor recognised that Australia wasn't adequately responding to the drug and alcohol crisis. She began a 2-year journey of planning and petitioning to open a rehabilitation centre that catered for women with children in their care. This led to the launch of Grace Homestead in 2018. Zoe has changed many lives for the better. Through Grace Homestead, she's giving mothers and their children a second chance at life.
Great stories and wonderful people, our local hero nominees. Another big round of applause for them.
So lucky to have inspirational people like you in our community. Premier, the stage is yours to announce this year's... Oh, actually, just before we do that, I would like to invite to the stage Queensland's 2021 Local Hero recipient. I was jumping the gun, ladies and gentlemen. Natasha Johnston, to share a few words about her journey over the past 12 months. Natasha.
Thank you, Craig and Loretta. Is that working? Hello.
That's it.
Thank you. A truly great man once said, "I have a dream." There is so much that the world learnt from Martin Luther King Jr. and so much change that he heralded. And whilst the journey he started is far from over, his dream served as a catalyst for change. Which is why I'd like to share my dream for a future in rural Australia where we will never again lose another farmer to suicide, where all Australian farmers will never again have to struggle to put food on their own tables, and where everyone in our farming communities will get the support they need so they don't feel isolated or alone with nowhere or no one to turn to. So ultimately, we will have a future where the connection between city and country grows bigger and better than ever before. But dreams are nothing without change, and change is nothing without action, and action is not possible without people to drive it. I believe the Queensland Local Hero of the Year Award has a unique power to foster change and serve as a catalyst for progress. For Drought Angels, despite the impact that COVID had on our world in the last year, it certainly helped raise awareness of the work we do and brought people to our cause to support our incredible farmers. Winning this award was very special for our charity and was a great honour for me personally. Being recognised this way wasn't immediately comfortable for me, as those who know me know I'm not one for public attention, but I recognise that it was a great privilege that has served to push me well outside of my comfort zone and enabled me to grow personally, develop my self-confidence and become a better person and leader. For this, I'm truly and forever grateful. To all the nominees, congratulations on being here. You all do such amazing work to make our state and country a happier and safer place to live. So please use this platform to raise more awareness about your world and your dreams and a better future, because together and in time, we can and will make our dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your experiences, Natasha. Okay, now it's time, Premier. Could you please announce the 2022...
I was a bit worried then. I was like, we have an envelope.
The Queensland Local Hero.
Okay. And our local hero for Queensland is Saba Abraham.
Keep that applause going, ladies and gentlemen, as Saba comes to the stage. Now, Saba, come over to this microphone here if you don't mind. You have a huge smile on your face. So what does winning this award that you have in your hands, what does that mean to you?
Wow, it makes me proud of Australia. Besides, I'm proud of Eritrea, proud of Africa, but proud of Queensland and Australia. This great country, full of opportunity. I don't have enough word how to.
Saba, you arrived in Brisbane, what was that, in the early 90s?
92 years,
1992.
December.
As you reflect on that journey over the past couple of decades, what's going to be next for you and the work that you do?
Well, it is basically always what has amazed me, this country is you feel always you have potential to make a difference. So this acknowledgement is for me to do more. Even I wish my age from 60, if I can return it to 30, and I can use all the opportunities in this country to make a difference.
You are making a huge difference. You have done for years through the restaurant, but then even in the past 12 to 18 months, you've had a role in trying to spread the message about COVID too, haven't you? Can you just give us an insight into what work you've been doing?
Yes, of course. In this occasion, I would like to thank us for our great leader, Prime Minister, Prime, and it's not Prime Minister.
Just got a promotion.
And then Dr. Janet. Of course, it has been a very, very hard time, and it's harder for our new emerging community with language and cultural barriers, all other traumatic experiences from past. So it was very much needed a leadership that to keep them informed and also to make sure they are okay, they are not alone. So I was a leader for community leaders gathering, which is run through KIPAS and MA, Multicultural Australia.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together for our local hero for 2022, Saba Abraham. Congratulations once again, Saba.
Thank you, Saba. Thank you. And Premier, is there something you haven't told us? Will we find out tomorrow?
Very happy with my job.
Now it's on to the Young Australian of the Year category. This award recognises inspiring young Australians aged between 16 and 30 who have accomplished great things already in all walks of life.
And I think we can all agree that the future of our country is looking pretty bright with these fantastic young people.
Okay, so who are they? Let's meet the nominees for the 2022 Queensland Young Australian of the Year Award.
Following the suicide of a well-known doctor in 2016, Dr. Tani Bridson learned that many of her friends and colleagues were also suffering in silence, too scared to speak up out of shame, fear and stigma. So Tani founded Hand in Hand Peer Support in 2020 to assist healthcare workers experiencing well-being or mental health difficulties. A small WhatsApp group chat quickly became a collective of more than 2,000 healthcare workers on social media. Through Tani's efforts, Hand in Hand has the potential to change the culture of workplaces all around the country. After a trip to Papua New Guinea in 2017, Jack Growden recognised the need for functional computer labs in the rural schools. So he donated his personal laptop to Kuta Primary School before promising to come back with 12 more. This sparked the idea for the not-for-profit he founded, Lighthouse International. Through the organisation, he's been able to provide devices and digital learning opportunities to more than 40,000 students across 4 countries. Jack inspires people of all ages, abilities and backgrounds to make a difference. From the age of 15, Cody Schaefer has been creating programs and events to change the lives of young people in Queensland for the better. Cody's current focus is on mental health issues. While working as a radio presenter, he founded Borderline Australia. It's a non-profit organisation dedicated to helping teenagers through mental health education and programs, including his popular Borderline Youth Camp. With a drive, dedication and commitment to supporting young people, Cody was named Brisbane's 2020 Young Citizen of the Year. High school science competitions piqued the interest of Dr. Heidi Walkden in neuroscience. Ever since, she's made outstanding contributions to the field. Heidi made a groundbreaking discovery in finding a new path by which bacteria can quickly move from the nasal cavity to the brain. In recognition of her research, she was named in the Forbes Asia 30 Under 30 list in the category of healthcare and science. Heidi has made incredible discoveries and achieved international recognition for her accomplishments. All the while, she has consistently supported her colleagues in promoting science to the Australian community.
And can we please acknowledge the work of the remarkable young Queensland nominees? Now, two of them can't be here, Heidi and Tani, but I believe they are with us on Zoom. So, hello.
And we'd like to, there they are there. Thank you very much. We'd like to invite to the stage Queensland's 2021 Young Australians of the Year, Daniel and William Clark, to share a story of their experiences over the past 12 months after winning too.
Good evening, Premier, distinguished guests and award nominees. We want to thank everyone that has helped us along our journey. We are so proud to have been awarded the 2021 Queensland Young Australians of the Year, and we can't thank the National Australia Day Council enough for this opportunity.
We remember sitting right here where all of you are now, racked with nerves and anticipation for the winner to be announced, with no expectations of how the night would unfold. We started our journey 13 years ago just because we were passionate about the orangutans and were driven to make the world a better place.
When we were announced as the 2021 Queensland Young Australians of the Year, we were over the moon. However, we knew that the hard work was about to begin. This award is not a responsibility, but rather it is an incredible opportunity. It is up to you to grab this opportunity with both hands and run with it, because before you know it, you will be up here as we are now, giving it space at the next year's awards in the blink of an eye.
Beautiful.
Every nominee here tonight is deserving of this award and should be immensely proud of their achievements so far. Daniel and I wish all the nominees and recipients of the awards the best of luck for tonight and all the best moving forward into the new year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel and William, for sharing your experience with us tonight. Premier, get ready
All right.
to announce the 2020 Queensland Young Australian of the Year.
Okay. And the winner of our Young Australian of the Year for Queensland is Tani Bridson. Dr. Tani Bridson, sorry, Doctor.
Congratulations, Tani. It's great to have you on Zoom with us. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen, we're also fortunate enough to have her dad, Matthew, to accept the award on Tani's behalf. Keep that applause going, ladies and gentlemen, if you would.
And Tani, while we can see you there on Zoom, look, let's talk to you about a little bit about what inspired you, why your work is so important.
Sorry, I'm just a bit speechless. I really didn't think that I would be the recipient tonight. I guess the thing that inspired me most is really, I guess I lost a number of colleagues to suicide, and more recently I've lost 4 colleagues in the last 12 months to suicide, and it's really an unknown problem that suicide and mental health issues are much higher in doctors and other healthcare professionals than other professional groups, more than the general population. And I just, having experienced difficulties myself and finding it really difficult to get help, I just wanted to make it easier, and I wanted those statistics to change, and it's something that I still want to fight for. So I'm very, very passionate about it, and a little flustered, but passionate.
Surprised were you when you started to delve into this about what you did find out?
I guess I was really surprised. I first sort of discovered it when one of my own mentors ended their life to suicide when I was a med student. And I think that the biggest thing was that most of us never realized, and most of us wouldn't ask a doctor, even as a medical student, if you were okay. Like, we wouldn't check in with them and see how they're going, or even think that they're not going okay. And it sort of then made me realize, as I became closer to being a doctor, actually, I'm a human, I'm a person, we're all people, and we have struggles, but where the hell do we go to if we're really struggling and we need help? And I guess that's when it became more obvious that it's really difficult for doctors and healthcare workers to get help. And the idea of them trying to do that in the middle of a global pandemic was just something that scared me. And I saw suicides of doctors overseas, and I just thought, the current systems we have in place are not sufficient, and we need something. And yeah, it kind of all just fell into place.
Hopefully this award will help you, try to get people to recognise that even more, and I suppose us as patients, when we go and see the doctor, to think about that. What would you say to people when we do go to the doctor or the hospital?
I think, sometimes, obviously for us, we're people who want to make sure that our patients are well, and we want the best outcomes for them. And sometimes, even just, as much as wait times and things can be really frustrating, and, there's massive queues to get into GPs or elective surgery, I think sometimes it's nice just to see a friendly smile on the other end, or, have someone even just, we normally ask people how they're going, so even just have someone reciprocate that is a nice little gesture to show that the work we do is still appreciated.
Yes, Tani, well done, congratulations. And have you got anybody there with you tonight?
I do. I have a puppy, and I have, come here, Bob. I've got my cousins, so we're all we're all about to just eat some dinner and celebrate.
Well, congratulations, Tani. You enjoy the evening, and well done.
And congratulations to some very proud parents in the room as well. Matthew and Giuseppe, Tani's parents. Congratulations on being Queensland's Young Australian of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause, please. And we come to our third award category for this evening, the Senior Australian of the Year. Now, this award celebrates the ongoing achievements of Australians aged 65 years and over, who continue to challenge themselves and inspire others.
And without these people, many things would not look the way they do today, and their sacrifice, determination and courage has really shaped generations and will leave a lasting imprint for years to come. So please join us in acknowledging the work of our 4 Senior Australian nominees with another huge round of applause.
And let's meet the nominees for the 2022 Queensland Senior Australian of the Year Award.
When Dr. Colin Dillon entered the Queensland Police Force in 1965, he became Australia's first Indigenous police officer. This was 2 years before the 1967 referendum, introducing the counting of Aboriginal people in the nation's census. In 1987, Colin showed courage as the first serving police officer to voluntarily step forward and give first-hand knowledge under oath before the Fitzgerald inquiry into police corruption. Since retiring from the police force, Colin served as chairman of Indigenous radio station 98.9 FM and a director of the Queensland Heart Foundation. Currently, he's community member on the Parole Board of Queensland. In 2011, Beryl Nielsen founded the John and Beryl Nielsen Winchester Foundation. Its aim is to give rural and regional children the same opportunities as those living in the city by helping their families cover the costs of boarding schools and university. For hundreds of rural children, some opportunities may never have been possible without Beryl's kindness and the support of the Winchester Foundation. She was awarded an Order of Australia Medal in 2021 for her tireless work as an advocate of opportunities for rural children. In 1969, in the dark jungle of Vietnam and under heavy enemy fire, Keith Payne returned to a battlefield which had been fled to rescue 40 of his soldiers. For his extreme act of bravery, Keith received the Victoria Cross in 1970. Upon returning to Australia, Keith suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. This experience spurred him on to become active in counselling returned soldiers, while also encouraging and supporting troops in active service. In his lifetime of service, Keith has helped veterans of foreign wars, Indigenous diggers, and communities left behind by civilian and military bureaucracy. Beverly Trivett was inspired to promote a greater understanding of brain cancer following the death of her husband John in 1997 from glioblastoma multiforme. She has since devoted almost 25 years to driving the development of resources to support people living with brain cancer. Beverly is the chair and a director of the Cure Brain Cancer Foundation, the leading organisation of research, advocacy and treatments in Australia. In this voluntary position, she helps advance the organisation's mission to rapidly improve brain cancer survival and ultimately find a cure.
Once again, can we please acknowledge the outstanding work of the senior Queensland nominees? Beverly and Beryl are unable to be here with us this evening, but we do have Beverly here with us on Zoom. So hello, Beverly. Our 2021 Queensland Senior Australian of the Year, Auntie McRose Elu, was unable to be here with us this evening. So we will continue with the announcement of the 2022 Queensland Senior Australian of the Year.
Premier, it's over to you for the honours of this year's Senior Australian of the Year.
The Senior Australian of the Year for Queensland is Dr. Colin Dillon.
Congratulations, Dr. Colin Dillon.
Cole, I see the emotion in the front row here as well, and your emotion as your name was read out. What's going through your mind right now?
Craig, I've got to say, I think this is the biggest shock I've ever had in my life. Goodness gracious. As I think back over my career in the police force, I thought I'd seen and experienced everything that one could do in life, but tonight, I mean, goodness, this tops it all.
Well, and on that point, because you became a trailblazer, probably without even realising it at the time.
Yep, I didn't.
Because it was a sergeant in Caloundra, wasn't it, who
That's
started
right,
your
yeah,
police force journey?
Yep, yep. Yeah, the local sergeant back then, he was the only lone police officer, but he was such a fine gentleman, and he's a good friend of my dad's. And my dad said to me one day, he said, look, he said, you want to try and be like him? And I tell you what, he was such an impressive man, and I thought, well, I'll try my best to be like him. And I was very pleased that I joined the police force when he was in his last year, when he was retiring, so he got to see me take the oath to become a state police officer. So, yeah.
That is just incredible, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
And when you look back at that journey, you know, from 1965, joining the police service, the police force as it was then.
Police force, that's correct, yes.
Going through the Fitzgerald years as well,
yes.
As you think about the police force as you left it compared to how it was when you began your career, the biggest change, what do you think it was?
Oh, look, I tell you what, it was the first time I think that reform had ever come to our state. It was a very broken, very corrupt police force that I was in way back then, and I was just absolutely astounded as a young person to think, what did I let myself in for when I joined the police force, and I could see all the corruption that was going on day to day. It was just unbelievable. So I decided when Commissioner Tony Fitzgerald, when he made that appeal, I thought, well, I'll put up my hand, and not knowing that I'd be the only one in the state that ever put up my hand. And I thought there'd be heaps to follow me in, but no, I put up my hand and I was the one and only, yeah.
A trailblazer in more ways than one, and some tough years that followed from that point. Cole, can I just ask for the recruits of tomorrow who join, what would be your message to them?
Well, I would say to them that when they take that oath, to make sure that they adhere to every word of that oath that they take, and to serve with great honour and dignity for their state, for the people in the state.
You have done that in spades, sir. What's next, Cole Dillon?
Oh, just I'm enjoying retirement. I've got 3 beautiful grandchildren, and I'm very proud. And there's one down here tonight, my granddaughter there. That's my baby. It's the baby of the 3 that I've got. But and I'm very proud of them. They're 3 wonderful grandchildren. They're doing their old granddad very proudly. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, can you put your hands together for this man beside me?
Dr. Colin Dillon. And the grandchildren are all very proud of you too, Colin. All right, we would now like to invite our 2021 Queensland Australian of the Year recipient, Dr. Dinesh Palapana, OAM, to the stage to share his experience over the past year. Please make him welcome. Dinesh Palapana.
Apologies, I had a wardrobe malfunction. Premier, distinguished guests, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to share some thoughts about the last year. It has been amazing. I wasn't born an Australian. I was born in Sri Lanka. I lived through a war. There we go. I lived through a war. We lived through corruption. We lived through poverty. We lived through suffering. And then on my 10th birthday, we came to this country. And it has been amazing. I've now lived here for 27 years. And every single day, I've been grateful to be a part of this amazing nation. And more recently, I've been so grateful to be a part of Queensland. We live in an amazing state. But this honour that I received last year, it's made me think about what it is to be Australian. Because being an Australian to me is a privilege. And I think this country, when I came here, and over my lifetime, it's given me so much. It's given me an education. It's given me healthcare after a traumatic spinal cord injury. It's given me the opportunity to work and give back to this community. So I think the Australian of the Year award, it's not really an award from me, but it's a responsibility and it's a privilege. And it reminds me to give back to this country that's given me so much. And it reminds me to hold myself to a higher standard. And I think about what it means to be Australian every day. All the nominees here today are here because they have been selfless, and they too have embodied that philosophy. So congratulations for everything that you've done, and thank you for everything that you do for our community. And I wish you the best of luck in this journey.
Thank you for being here with us this evening, Dinesh, and sharing your journey. It's always wonderful to hear you speak.
Our final category tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2022 Queensland Australian of the Year.
Are you ready? Oh, come on, say it a bit better. Are you ready?
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Lord Mayor, for it first. You said it first.
This award category celebrates the achievements and contributions of eminent Australians who are role models for us all, just like Dr. Dinesh Palapana.
Yeah, they are trailblazers who don't wait to be asked. They see a need, they share their talent, and then they inspire us all.
So let's find out who are our nominees for the 2022 Queensland Australian of the Year Award.
Sue and Lloyd Clark have shown extraordinary dedication to educating Australia on the dangers of coercive control and domestic violence. After the murder of their daughter Hannah and 3 grandchildren, Aaliyah, Layana and Trey, they vowed to put a stop to domestic and family violence. Their foundation, Small Steps for Hannah, empowers victims to speak up and guides family members to create safe environments for those who need them most. By advocating for legislative change in the justice system, Sue and Lloyd hope the criminalisation of coercive control in Queensland will become Hannah's legacy. Norm McGillivray wanted to help those sleeping rough around Australia. His light bulb moment came when, while parked at a local shopping centre, he noticed the car park was nearly empty. So, in 2018, Norm founded the not-for-profit Bed Down, which repurposes underutilised car parks and spaces as pop-up accommodation for people experiencing homelessness. Partnering with car park operator Secure Parking, Bed Down helps restore the health and dignity of homeless people around Australia. Norm, whose father was personally impacted by homelessness, is using kindness and understanding to improve the lives and well-being of vulnerable people. Following a road crash in which her son's choices took 4 innocent lives, including his own, Melissa McGuinness used the tragedy to create a social movement for road safety. Since 2017, Melissa's You Choose youth road safety programs have engaged with more than 100,000 young Australians in the school system, empowering them to take accountability for themselves and their peers through the concepts of love, family and choice. Melissa seeks to inspire current and future generations of young drivers as leaders to protect their families and communities from the preventable misery of youth road trauma. Annie Whittaker has dedicated the past 22 years of her life to supporting and advocating for people with pulmonary hypertension, PH. Annie co-founded the Pulmonary Hypertension Association of Australia, an organisation that advocates on behalf of the PH community, while also providing hope, support and education for around 4,000 family and friends of people with PH. She relentlessly campaigns for the approval of new PH medications in Australia, helping to make the once invariably fatal condition survivable for much longer periods, while giving hope to those with a PH diagnosis.
Let's show our gratitude to Queensland's 5 incredible nominees and the work they've achieved.
So the moment you've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, Premier, it's over to you. Who is the 2022 Queensland Australian of the Year?
The 2022 Australians of the Year for Queensland are Sue and Lloyd Clark.
Sue and Lloyd, congratulations. I'll get you to come over to the microphone. You're shaking, Sue, are you? This award, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, well, totally humbled and honoured to be recipients, but no, hopefully it will give our foundation another springboard to help educate and make it a better society out there, is what we're really after.
Keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
Hopefully now everyone will be talking and thinking about calling out friends and what they can do to help families.
And how is that conversation going and the work that you're doing? How's it progressing?
It's going well. As we know, the Queensland government's listening, or listened to us, and they're gratefully, we're going to make some legislative changes, hopefully, and we now know that Victoria, they're looking at trying to get something happening down there as well. We've been having correspondence with them ourselves personally. So the conversation's out there and it's still going, and it's great to see that the conversation is taking those small steps to get to a greater good.
Yeah, we've all been inspired by your strength, your courage and what you've been able to achieve so far. The community, when they embrace you, how has that helped you?
Oh, it's been wonderful. We've had some wonderful support from everybody around Australia, overseas. We're shocked. We're quite humbled by the support.
And that's why we want to give back to the community by educating and hoping that the people out there will listen and become and have better relationships out there.
And Lloyd, I know you recently retired. How are you going?
Yeah, busier than ever. I might have to go back to work. It was quieter.
Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate Sue and Lloyd, our Queensland Australian of the Year.
It must have been a hard decision because there's some wonderful nominees out there, and it's just so
We didn't think it'd be us.
No.
Congratulations.
And let's hope that that platform, that message continues to be spread. You can walk out of here, ladies and gentlemen, and tell some of the stories that you've heard of tonight, whether that be about small steps for Hannah and the work of Sue and Lloyd, whether it be about Cole Dillon and the trailblazer that he has been, Tani and her work helping doctors on the front line, and then we started the evening with our local hero Saba and the work that she has been doing ever since she arrived in Australia in 1992. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together for all of our award recipients this evening.
And thank you, Premier, very much for coming out tonight to present the awards. It's wonderful to have you here. And of course, to all our nominees, as you said, you know, someone has seen them. They've inspired someone. Someone has noticed the work that they're doing or have done and thought these people need to be recognised, even if they don't want to be recognised, if they're trying to do it quietly. But to all our recipients, again, congratulations. Well deserved. We look forward to hearing about your journey, actually, at the National Awards.
You are the positive change makers in our community. Tonight, we salute you. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, to all our nominees and recipients this evening, congratulations.
Now, of course, none of today would be possible without our national partners, so we'd like to take a moment to acknowledge them, who together make these awards and this program possible. We would not be able to do it without the support.
Our National Diversity and Inclusion partner, Chevron, helps to inspire and foster unity and connect people of all ages and backgrounds.
The Australian of the Year category partner, Australia Post, supports our national recipient in the delivery of their message nationwide.
The Department of Health is our category partner for the Senior Australian of the Year award.
The Department of Education, Skills and Employment is our Young Australian of the Year category partner.
The Department of Home Affairs is the Local Hero Award category partner. And here are some brief messages from them.
Ingenuity,
creativity and innovation,
passion,
purpose and the pursuit of excellence,
mateship,
inclusion,
and the idea of a fair go.
At Chevron, we call it human energy.
That's why we support the Australian of the Year Awards.
As the National Diversity and Inclusion partner,
celebrating the achievement
of outstanding Aussies
from every corner of our great country
and from every walk of life.
Because we're all part of the story.
For over 200 years, Australia Post has been at the heart of Australian communities, connecting them to each other and the world. We're thrilled to recognise the incredible Australian of the Year award recipients who make such a profound contribution to their communities and to our nation. We're proud to support the Australian of the Year award and join you in celebrating these inspiring Australians.
This award is given to people from all walks of life who have dedicated their lives to making a difference, be it through education, science, advocacy, sport, and many other fields of endeavour for their fellow Australians and the community. It celebrates commitment, it celebrates facing adversity and staying the course. It celebrates lifelong learning and giving. It speaks to the wealth of experience and wisdom senior Australians bring to our nation, recognising the drive and commitment of those who continue to achieve and contribute, inspiring all generations. I congratulate all nominees and thank them for their contribution to furthering our nation.
As the Federal Education and Youth Minister, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate and recognise all of the nominees for the Young Australian of the Year Award for this year. Each of you has been recognised by your state and territory government for making an absolutely outstanding contribution to your state or territory, and I want to thank you for that. You are a great ambassador and great role model for so many others, and I wish you well in the overall finals, which of course will be announced on Australia Day in the not too distant future. All the very best.
Australia's Local Hero Award recognises everyday Australians who have seen an opportunity to make their community a better place. Through their extraordinary commitment and selfless efforts, these local heroes have made a real and enduring difference. Congratulations to all of the finalists in the Australia Local Hero Awards. You are an inspiration to all of us.
We'd also like to thank broadcast partner, the ABC, who support us year round and will screen the national announcement live on ABC TV and iView on the 25th of January, which then begins a day of programming to reflect, respect and celebrate on Australia Day itself.
And our media partner, Australian Community Media, supports our call for nominations through their unique collection of community-based local newspapers and websites that span the nation and help us inspire millions of Australians, telling their stories about our extraordinary state and territory recipients.
Our alumni partner is the International Day of People with Disability. This day, the 3rd of December each year, challenges the way we think about disability to help grow a more inclusive Australia.
A few more thank yous. We thank our national accommodation partner, Crown Plaza. We appreciate your warm hospitality for our travelling nominees and recipients, especially each January.
Yeah, particularly the fluffy white slippers there. Thanks go to our cultural partner, the Australian National University, who through its schools of art and music designed and produced our trophies and composed and performed music at our events.
And thanks to our exhibition partner, the National Museum of Australia, who delivers the Australian of the Year exhibition in Canberra and around the country throughout the year.
And last but certainly not least, we appreciate the continued support of legal partner Minter Ellison.
Please also thank the Queensland Government as our state partner and join me in thanking all of our partners for their ongoing vital support.
We've said that word congratulations many times over this evening, ladies and gentlemen, not just because it's written here, but because we mean it with all our hearts as well. One of the greatest jobs that we have is sharing stories of our community each and every day. As the Premier said, isn't it so nice to spread some positivity of the good that is in our town, our community, our state and our country.
And we can see people's smiles now because we don't have a mask on. Isn't that great?
Show us your pearly whites, ladies and gentlemen. And in saying that, we do need to take some photos with the recipients and nominees on stage. So after proceedings have concluded, I'll ask her to stay around. We'll get a few more of those pics. On behalf of all of us in the room, I wish all our recipients and nominees every success in your future endeavours, because to get here is one thing, but I know there's something special around the corner for each and every one of you as well.
And don't forget, if you know someone in your local community who's doing a remarkable job and you think they need to be recognised, make sure you nominate them. australianoftheyear.org.au. Look it up and have a think about it and just take notice of what they're doing in your community. Or maybe it's you.
Isn't it scary when that says the 2023 Australian of the Year Awards? Wow. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, would you please once more congratulate all of tonight's recipients and nominees.
And now, after the photos, we can have refreshments, cocktails. Well, are they cocktails? It says
well, that's what it says, cocktail function.
On the roof terrace to celebrate with the nominees and recipients. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful evening. Safe travels home. Thanks again.